This is a KTM Freeride 250 4-stroke from the year 2019. It's one of the last ones that have been built. And originally this motorbike is already smaller than normal Enduro from the KTM brand. It's also pretty exactly 10 kilos lighter than a 300 2-stroke, and the seat height on this one, it's been lowered by about 4 centimeters. And then I'm running Moose, so that also shaves a little bit off the seat height, and I will measure that in a moment for you. This motorbike is not being built anymore, so it's can only be bought on the used market, and it's quite a cheap motorbike to buy and to run. I service this motorbike every 40 hours. It gets fresh oil, so that's quite a long span. And a friend of mine has been doing the same, and on one piston he's done already 900 hours. This motorbike has a key to start, different than the other hard enduros, which sometimes comes in handy if you want to park it somewhere, because this is also pretty much street legal. The only thing that is street legal here in Europe, the only thing that is missing are the indicators, but they tear off all the time anyway, so they're gone. The indicators and a second mirror. I would say this motorbike is purpose built. It has some trials genes, so it's very nimble, and when it gets technical, that's where it really shines. When I'm riding in a group, normally when I show up, people look at me and they roll their eyeballs and they think, oh my god, he's coming with this small girl's bike. And then in the fast passages, I normally row in at the back a little bit, because the suspension isn't really good, and the angle of the fork is also a little bit steep. And then when it gets technical, that's normally when I get up front, and then I can get ahead of people, and then I end up waiting at the top. And for me, that's also the type of riding that I really like, and the type of riding that I have around my house. It's technical. Let's talk about the things that are really good on this motorbike. It's nearly unbreakable. There are almost no parts hanging off that you can break. A little bit of a problem is this tube here for the cooling liquid that can break. It's a little exposed, so it protected that. And the cooler, of course, like on every motorbike, you always have to take care of the cooler too. But other than that, it's pretty unbreakable. I've thrown this motorbike away more than I've ridden it, I think. This is really incredible. What modifications have I done? I just went for black plastic, so there's not everything is available. This is one from Husqvarna from 85, I think. Then these here you can still get back and front black, and then these here are painted, and the paint doesn't last all the time, of course. Then some hand guards, because sometimes we have to push the bike underneath fences and stuff, so it's nice to don't have to bother about it. And then I have another, what is it, a fat bar on it. But that's about it. And then I changed the seat. I changed the cushioning a little bit. It's a little lower and more rubber, and so that gives more grip. And the rear sprocket is 50 teeth. That's about it. Just gives it a little bit more torque that way. Then there's Moose inside, and these tires are original. It's like a trials tire. This is original for this bike, and these are super soft, so these give really good grip almost in every condition. Actually, people always think, oh no, this tire doesn't give grip, but I've run it down to 2 millimeters and even in wet conditions it still works. It's phenomenal. Honestly, I think it's all about how much pressure or how soft the mousse is rather than the profile of the tire. What's good about this tire as well is if you're riding somewhere where people don't like it so much, you don't leave tracks, you're not ripping up the ground. And for me, that's also very important, that I don't destroy the environment with my tire. I want to be riding smooth, and Also the motor characteristics, this is not a very strong motor. It has about 25 horsepower or so, so you're not ripping up the ground so much. And I think that's very important if we like to ride and keep riding enduro for a long time. I think it's really good when we don't rip up the ground too much. And just the next thing is that these exhaust pipes are really quiet. It's also very good, so you're not disturbing people, you're not disturbing animals, wild animals and whatever. But as I say, it's very soft, so also when you're riding very fast stuff, this tire gets wobbly, of course. It's too soft. The whole motorbike is not made for going fast, in my opinion. And I don't understand why KTM stopped building it or didn't advance with it. Definitely the 4-stroke motor can be an issue because it takes a lot of slipping the clutch and it's easy to stall. So a small motorbike with, like this one, with a 2-stroke engine could be an option for KTM also to build. I think the next step up from this will be the Beta X trainer. So besides the clutch that has to be slipped much more with the 4-stroke because of stalling, there's one more disadvantage, is that the battery here is really, this is not well engineered here, and the battery is very close to the engine. It gets hot, and light lithium batteries, I broke a couple and then I went back to a lead battery, so now it's heavier lead battery and that one works. So if you're looking for a cheap to run small motorbike for a beginner or for someone who is not that tall and you don't plan on traveling long distance, then this is a really good option. Then I'll do some measurements. Start with the ground clearance. That is down to about 26 centimeters on the lowest point. Then the seat height is around 87 centimeters. Now if I sit on it, I'm only 62, 63 kilos. If I sit on this, see around about, it doesn't sag a lot, it's maybe 83 centimeters. Sitting position, of course you can move around on it. The handlebars are quite high, which I like. I even standing position, very comfortable. Yeah, that's about it. Enjoy the ride.